Biden has canceled over $5 billion worth of student debt. Let's tune in.
Diane Stuckey Bruce earned 3 of her degrees at South Carolina State University, and she's been paying off student loans for almost 20 years.
It was really crushing because it was such a large debt that I know I incurred, but I thought it was necessary to get the education that I needed so that I can be successful.
She says that debt had prevented her from buying a home well into her 50s, and she still owed more than $263,000 until late 2021, when she was stunned to learn all that debt had been canceled because she works in public service.
I knew my life was going to change at that moment, that my life goes another direction now.
Despite a Supreme Court ruling last year that struck down a larger student debt relief plan, the Biden administration has been rolling out smaller, more targeted programs. So far, the White House says it's erased almost $137 billion for 3.7.
$137 billion has almost been erased for more than 3.7 million Americans. This is some big news. This is some big news, because we all remember last year when Biden had promised us he was going to forgive our student loans. Sign up now. Make sure you get your registration in for the student loan forgiveness. And we are all waiting, and they kept pushing it back until they just said all together, you know what, forget it. Y'all ain't getting nothing. But it seems like he has been still working on it at a smaller scale. And a lot of people out there have gotten their student loans forgiven. This lady in particular got over $250,000 forgiven. That is a mortgage. Sorry. That is a house. To me, I don't know about y'all, but why would you go to college to get yourself in debt, over $100,000 in debt, for a loan and a degree that probably is worthless? But let's continue.
7 million Americans, announcing today it's wiping out debt for tens of thousands of public sector workers, including teachers, nurses, and firefighters. Still, many Republicans argue it's not fair for people who never went to college or who paid off their debts to subsidize those who didn't. Senator Bill Cassidy.
I agree with that. There's a lot of people that, decided that they weren't going to go the debt route, and they were going to pay it out of pocket for their schooling. They're going to work extra hours, work extra hard, and pay for every single class without taking out a loan. And these people are pissed, and they sure got a right to be pissed. But let's continue.
He says the administration is essentially buying votes during an election year.
But it's not really forgiven. It's transferred. It's transferred to those who paid back their student loans or who decided never to go to college.
Now debt-free, Diane Stuckey Bruce says she's finally been able to build her dream home.
It was the biggest blessing I've ever received in my entire life.
A weight that's now been lifted. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, the White House.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on.
Well, we know she's happy. We know Biden got a vote from her, for sure.